What ADP, ADRP covers stability? ADP, ADRP 3-07 covers stability. What is stabilization? Stabilization is a process in which personnel identify and mitigate underlying sources of instability to establish the conditions for long-term stability. So this is essentially tied into securing an area and making sure that it stays secure. What is the focus of stability tasks? There's two. Identifying and targeting the root causes of instability, and two is building the capacity for local institutions. What are sources of instability? Decreased support for the government based on what locals actually expect of their government. Number two is increased support of anti-government elements. And number three is the undermining of the normal functioning of society, where the emphasis must be on a return to the established norms. So basically, mostly internal factors are what result in instability. Decreased support for the government based on what the locals actually expect of their government. That would be any example you can use, any Middle Eastern society, probably, most of them, where there's conflict and the government doesn't really have a hold of security and keeping radicals in line, and or they themselves are radicals, stuff like that. Increased support for anti-government elements. So that would be an example of that would be locals supporting like terrorists running around and where the government's corrupt, and the locals would rather ally themselves with the anti-government forces rather than the government itself, because the government sucks. The undermining of the normal functioning of society, where the emphasis must be on a return to the established norms, essentially resistance or a lack of support for stabilizing actions like establishing and training a police force or emergency resources like medicine, stuff like that. What are stability tasks? Stability tasks are tasks conducted as part of operations outside the U.S. in coordination with other instruments of national power to maintain or reestablish a safe and secure environment and provide essential governmental services, emergency infrastructure reconstruction, and humanitarian relief. What are the principles that lay down the foundation for long-term stability? There's four. Conflict transformation, unity of effort, legitimacy and host nation ownership, building partner capacity. Now, what some of these things mean, it's always best to reinforce some of this stuff. Conflict transformation is slowly getting rid of the conflict by eliminating the perpetrators or just changing the mindset of the population as a whole. Unity of effort is having everybody work towards the same goal. Legitimacy and host nation ownership is pretty much making the local government take charge of their mess. Building a partner capacity, I guess, working hand in hand with the local government or police forces or whatever's there. What is a line of effort? A line of effort is a line that links multiple tasks using the logic of purpose rather than geographical reference as to focus efforts towards establishing operational and strategic conditions. This is essentially a timeline. You plan ahead, and each point on the line is an action that needs to happen in order for the final goal to occur, or for you to reach the final resolution, so to speak. What is a decisive point? A decisive point is a geographical place, specific key event, critical factor, or function that, when acted upon, allows commanders to gain a marked advantage over an adversary or contribute materially to achieving success. A breakdown of that would be, a vital route, or it essentially could be anything of tactical advantage. So it could be a person, it could be anything really. What is a stability mechanism? A stability mechanism is the primary method through which friendly forces affect civilians in order to attain conditions that support establishing a lasting and stable peace. Stability mechanism would be, gosh, I guess buying off the locals with supplies or medical care, if we're being honest. What is a defeat mechanism? A defeat mechanism is the method through which friendly forces accomplish their mission against the enemy opposition, be it cutting off their supplies or cutting off their heads. Solution or resolution. That is all for ADP 3-07, aka stability, or in short term, in a easier way to understand, security of a local area, foreign or domestic. That is all.